church there. And I'm talking about, I do believe that it is about starting with us and then panning out from there. I do believe in that, and that is my philosophy. But I'm talking about those hard to reach groups within our community. The ones we worked with at Divert Trust, which was a charity that was there for children who were at risk of entering the criminal justice system. The children whose parents are absent emotionally. Those are the ones that I'm talking about in terms of the practical support that we can do for those people. And you talk about the church. I don't go to church, but I went to church as a child because my parents made me go to church as a child. And the things I saw happening within the church were very, very much wrong. And I think even today, the things that happen in the church are not right and people turn a blind eye. It's those kind of things that I'm alluding to. What can we do about those things where you have institutions like the church, which is a big major institution and very important within our community, but actually, if I'm being honest, it's not actually doing what it's supposed to be doing, and people are not
say what the church is supposed to be doing. The church supposed to
but this is the problem, though. You had the word to say the
Thank you. You had a word you wanted to say, and we've got to nearly close up. So go.
Okay, if I might just bring together a couple of points that have been made.
Quickly, because it's nearly time to round up.
Rose said something about us making the noises, the right noises, and Dr. Cecile, right, mentioned also the fact that you talked about the church, and this lady here also said the same thing. I work for an organization called XL3. We're a faith-based charity, and we started 16 years ago with a handful of persons, 5 persons, and £200, right, in a contribution from the local church in Birmingham. And what we decided was then black boys were deriving the least benefit from the educational system. So we formed an organization called the National Black Boys Can Association. How it operated was we had community volunteers in locations all around the country running supplementary schools on a Saturday. Now what started happening was, because of the turnaround in those young men's lives, because the average back then for the black boys meeting the benchmark 5 GCSEs was something like 20-something% nationally. Our average was something like 80% of our young men coming to our programs, achieving those grades. Because of that, they started telling others, and the government started listening. So we ended up partnering with the DCLG, Department of Communities and Local Government, through the Home Office, where we became one of their 11 national strategic partners, and they funded us to deliver, different programs around, black attainment of young black men. But then we didn't stop there. We said, how can we, in a strategic manner, engage? If we're still hearing the narrative that black boys about what's happening in the black community, and we decided, okay, we're going to apply for our own free school. Now, we were turned down 4 times, but guess what? In September of this year, we opened the first Christian free school in the city of Birmingham. School has a capacity of over 1,000 students. The specialism of the school is international business. We're the only free school in the country that has that specialism. But beyond that, our specialism, beyond the national curriculum, we offer the International Baccalaureate program, which is not offered in non-fee paying schools.
I teach the IB. It is.
But generally speaking, it isn't. But our free school does. But what I'm saying is that now, and we partner with people like Jaguar Land Rover and other large companies. Dr. Mafford, I'm pleased to even announce he sits on the board of governors for the school. So the thing about it is that we're making the right noises now, right? We have to be listened to when we come to the table, because we're doing it in a very strategic manner, right? And we're a church, we're a faith-based organization, we don't hide.
Okay.
Our Christian ethos is made clear. So when we say the church, we have a lot of people from church who are the light and salt, who are operating in different arenas. Dr. Mafada is very open about his faith house. The church is operating, it's just that it might not be in the manner that we're saying, well, hey, we're...
I would be happy to have the debate with for you guys to have the debate with this lady about the church. I just wanted to cut the conversation a little bit short because I have to close up, I'm afraid. So, I'm going to go back to the report because that was what we're here to discuss. And in the middle, I was told, I listened to the report at the beginning, and it said that if we could pull up the areas of medium achievement, we could possibly achieve and affect a lot of what was going on. So listen to this, guys, because I'm going to come back to you for the last word. The areas of medium achievement within the black community are education performance, financial ability, leadership contribution, community and cultural esteem. If you had to choose one of them, panel, very briefly, like if you talk too long, I'll take the microphone off. Very briefly, one of those that you would like to focus on, which one would it be? Education, finance, leadership, community.
When you say what we would focus on as what we
try and build and make better, because the guy said that if we could make these ones better, we would pull a lot of our issues up. So which one would you want and why?
Okay, me personally, I think it would be a toss-up between leadership and finance, but I'll say finance to start off with. There's a guy called Claude Anderson from America. He stated that there's 5 key areas that we as a black community need to focus on to, in a sense, ensure that we have power within our communities. Putting aside the issue that people aren't interested in certain things, etc. To me, that's a non-issue. But he said that 1 is the economic base, 2 is education, 3 is the judiciary, 4 is media, and then 5 is obviously politics. It's having an influence in all of those areas. But my passion and the way I see how things can get done is actually through finance. And the finance, I see that linked into our own economics. If we don't have an angle on how we can generate our own income, we're obviously in a dangerous predicament. A lot of the time when we do business with one another, our money circulates within our black community probably once or twice before it goes out to another community. Other communities, it circulates 4, 5, 6, even 12, 15 times. That is one of the disadvantages about high unemployment. And we've always been seeing it for the last 30 odd years, is that if we can't employ our own people, are we expecting other groups and other communities to do that for us? Yeah. So to me, it has to be finance.
All right.
Thank
you. I think my answer is self-evidently what Nelson Mandela said. The biggest weapon you have is education. It will deal with the social justice system. There was just asking Ben Carson now, when he was on his campaign trail. It's astonishing that the fact that he went to Yale had to suffer more when they were querying his version of events. Michelle Obama said, Barack